It is 7:36 a.m., and yes, we are back here on KFYO Mornings. Dave King and Matt Martin at your service. And as promised, one of our favorite monthly guests is Eddie from the Chamber.
Dave, Matt, I'm just glad to be called favorite or something. I'm usually the opposite end of that favorite spectrum.
Well, you are a master at, I don't know, BS or whatever. I don't know. You have that gift of gab. Is that what makes you so popular down at the Chamber?
I don't know, popular. That's another connotation that doesn't always mean positive in that respect. But no, we got a lot of wonderful things to talk about in Lubbock, Texas. So it's fun to have a chance to talk about all the good things going on in Lubbock. How about them Red Raiders?
Oh, how about them?
Just outstanding.
Man, we were just talking about them off mic, and we were all excited about that. And Coach Tadlock, he's not getting nearly enough praise. And whatever he's making out there, it ain't enough.
Oh, I think he's going to stay around a little bit longer.
Well, I hope he does, and I hope you have some inside information on that.
Oh, I have no inside information other than what you read in the press, but nonetheless, I know that he's well thought of. We have it's according to the news that you're participating in. I think Kirby Hokut's done a great job with all the athletics program at Tech. I think, Kitley, Coach Kitley in track has done a wonderful job.
Yeah.
Tom Stone, what a heck of a soccer coach he is, and with Chris Beard, I think, wow, how fortunate that Tech has all those folks on campus at the same time.
We were just talking about, I just can't be more impressed. Every time I go out to the Tech campus, it is astounding. And I know probably most Lubbock citizens don't go out to the Tech campus, but the buildings that they have put, the money they have spent on that campus, it's just incredible.
Well, we sometimes in Lubbock do take Texas Tech for granted for what it's done. And I know there's a lot of us that can't praise enough of the leadership on campus. What a great job they do. But the fact of the matter is still, you can tell when summer starts and all of a sudden there's not as many students around. You can tell the impact, and then when school gets ready to start again in the fall, it's just a ramping up. So we are very blessed to have Texas Tech in Lubbock, Texas. They're not just a regional or a state economic engine; they're a internationally renowned campus. So we're very, very proud of our university, and especially those Red Raider baseball guys. What a great job! And they'll do a good job in Omaha. They'll represent us well and beat Florida and then beat whoever the Texas-Arkansas game is. Wouldn't that be good?
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
That would be really sweet. This is third time in 5 years, so they've obviously developed a pretty good program.
Man, they got a program out there, no question about it.
They scooted out a little bit early last year. They would have been there in 2017 as well. So.
Well, they have 11 people that's going to the pros.
Yeah.
My word. What a recruiting tool.
Yeah, really.
Any high school baseball player that's going to college, where do you want to play?
Yeah.
Man, come to Texas Tech. 11 of our players got sent to the pros.
And that is really good news for us, And again, I think having sellout crowds at the Law over the last, the three games that they played, it was made a very nice opportunity.
Well, we've been just trying to keep up with all that you're doing here. Of course, there's a lot more than Texas Tech to talk about. But you've got one of the big things that you've got coming up is, well, where is it? Where'd it go? The
active shooter training on Friday.
Program. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know exactly what that is, and you're going to need to explain it to us.
Since in the last 15 years, Dave, over 50% of the active shooter incidents where people have come in and actually fired weapons within a facility have been in businesses. So we found it very interesting.
Half, you say?
Over half. Over half.
In businesses.
Inside businesses. So obviously we wanted to bring Corporal Chris Payne, the LPD, who's been doing this for the last 13 years. LPD and their program have trained over 45,000 people. So we thought it'd be important at this point in time. Didn't have anything to do with the unfortunate school shooting down in Santa Fe. We've been planning this for months, but however, it still generates the idea that it would be a good training opportunity because our effort is in safety, trying to make folks feel more confident in their workplace that if anything that you hope never happens, you pray to God it never happens, but if indeed something happens, at least they'd have the confidence to know how to react. Sure, in a situation like that, the only way that you can ever really know what you're going to do to react is to be placed in a situation where you learn and be educated. And we think with Corporal Payne coming it's going to be a great opportunity to pass that training.
Well, Eddie, probably in Texas there's more people who carry than probably any other place in the country, and I suspect an active shooter in a business situation like that might not get very far.
Well, you never know, and that's the other thing. And it really, the training that Corporal Payne, from what I understand, he focuses on is unarmed responses from folks.
Yeah.
So he's talking about survival and tactics, so what you got to do to actually respond
and
to
here's
that.
the thing. I mean, and I like the fact that, and it's true, that a lot of people do have their concealed carry license. But most businesses, if you work for a business, don't allow you to carry as an employee, which is stupid. If you're an employer and you don't allow your people to carry, you're stupid. Okay, I'm just gonna. This is my conservative side.
Well, I'm sorry. No, that's awfully bold talk.
It is bold talk, but and they do it.
Well, let's not say they're stupid.
They do it for
they're
insurance
ill-informed.
reasons.
Yeah,
they do it for insurance reasons. Because guess what? If a shooter comes in and starts shooting up the place, and someone shoots back and doesn't kill that person, they're going to be suing that company.
Well,
so there's such a litigious society we live in as well. That's why you encourage folks to leave it in their vehicles. Well,
which again,
it doesn't
if
do
you don't
a lot
have
of good in your vehicle.
Unless you can run out there real quick.
Point being is most of them though, most companies do it to cover themselves, not necessarily because they agree or disagree with you carrying, but because their insurance company wants them to.
Okay, well, Eddie, who is this for?
It's for the general community. You have a $35 price, obviously, for being a member of the chamber, because obviously we support our members, and $50 if you want to come and if you're a non-member. Okay. Friday morning, 8 o'clock at the MCM Elegante Hotel downtown, and it'll be. We've already got over 100 folks signed up, so we know it's a lot of people who are interested in this type of training. And I don't know if this is going to be the last time that we offer this training, because I think the more opportunities you provide, the more chance people get a chance to come in and learn how they think they could react in a situation like that. Yeah. So it's part of our Business at Its Best seminar.
Good information.
We provide small business education opportunities, so this is one of the topics that we knew would be good. We have several more coming up, but this one is one that was good for the first one of the summer.
Okay, you've got a lot of.
Well, I was just going to say, something I like seeing was there was a teacher that the kid came in and started shooting, and he threw a basketball at the kid and then tackled him.
Yeah.
And, the thing is that even if you don't have a gun, there's ways to fight back, and there's ways to try to neutralize the situation.
Well, the first thing they're going to teach you is get secure, make yourself safe. The second thing they're going to tell you to run. And so if you think about it, again, safety, but if you develop those tactics, not everybody's going to be able to throw that basketball and hit that guy that's carrying a gun and then tackle him. Not everybody's going to have that same opportunity. Yeah. But it is important to think about it.
Okay, let's take a quick break, Eddie, and we'll come right back with more after this. Okay, and we're back here with Eddie McBride, who is the chief cook and bottle washer down at the Lubbock Chamber of Commerce. By the way, can't say enough good about the Lubbock Chamber of Commerce, all the awards they've won, and all the good that they do for our community. And I can throw that in. I can testify to that personally. Always glad to have you here, Eddie. We want to talk about the Coliseum. Okay, the citizens have voted to let Tech have the Coliseum.
That's right. I wasn't here last month. I missed that the Tuesday after the election and everything, so that was a squeaker. Well, was it a squeaker? 52% is a landslide as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
However, it was still probably should have done a lot better.
It was a lot closer than you would have expected.
Well, here's what I want to know. Of course, Texas Tech wants the property back. And, of course, they have agreed to tear it down. I think the number, correct me if I'm wrong, was like $4.5 million to tear it down.
The original estimate. Who knows what it'll be once they get in there.
The thing was built back in the Cold War, and it's built to specs of that era.
And there's been some rehab done to it over the years that may or may not increase what it'll take to tear it down. But nonetheless, they will tear it down.
At any rate, Texas Tech wants it.
Yep.
They've got it, but it's not turned over to them yet. Isn't that correct?
Not yet. There still has to be some paperwork done, and so President Skubinek said that there will be one more year of the ABC rodeo. So next year in April, there will be another rodeo. What beyond that, no one knows.
Dr. Skubinek's going to be on this show tomorrow.
Good. Well, he's a happy camper to be able to get that facility back so that they can make some long-term changes to the campus there by the Jones Stadium.
Yeah, he said he wants to build a dorm there.
and that's going to be interesting to see what ends up happening.
Yeah, and expand the baseball stadium.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're wanting to straighten out that road, from what I understand, and then upgrade the baseball stadium, and then build some athletic dorms.
That's the last information that was made public is that exact same thing. Who knows, after Coach Tadlock's success, who knows what else can grow out of that stadium.
He said made public. He might know something that
I know
public.
Nothing else whatsoever.
So what?
Come on, Eddie. Come on, man.
I know nothing.
That's what we. Listen, Colonel Klink. That's why we have you on this show, because you're the man that.
How about them Red Raiders?
You're down there where the wheels of government turn. You're supposed to know all this
Your
stuff.
audience is more interested in knowing what's going to happen to a new dirt floor arena, and that's what I hope is going to transpire over the next several months and everything. Because what we said going into the election is that I this is kind of one of these. Just trust me, I said the leaders in the community, both public and private folks, are meeting to establish a replacement to the Coliseum. And those conversations are still ongoing. I know there's a lot of efforts that are going into the planning.
Are you for public or private to build it?
Well, I'm a private type of guy. I think the city has proven that it's difficult for them to maintain some of these facilities and to schedule and to calendar things.
You're exactly right.
And I said, both leading up to the election as well as I've been saying for years, that I hope there's a private opportunity to turn over a third-party administration and to run these facilities, all of these facilities.
Would this be an outdoor facility?
No, it needs to be an indoor facility, because when you do a livestock show, like for the y'all don't realize that the Lubbock County Livestock Show, the Junior Livestock Show, is one of the largest in the nation, the largest in Texas. So it is a huge. Under what goes on. Yes, sir, it is huge, and out at the fairgrounds, and it's in a facility that obviously is not as conducive for a well-run, well-organized livestock show. So, nonetheless, to have a new facility to be able to put not just the rodeo is a one-time event, but there's a whole boatload of other things. We could put the business expo in there. We could put the Uncorked Wine Festival in there, where there's a lot of things that can be put on in there.
Tractor pulls,
dirt floor things, but also things,
motorcycle
a whole lot of other different things. So I think the
things that we don't even get a shot at now.
Yeah, well, I am personally aware of quite a few conversations that are going on, and I am quite confident that the planning is underway as we speak. I don't think there's a final resolution just yet. As we said leading up to the May 5th election, that these conversations are going to continue, and both private money is going to be raised as well as opportunity for public money via venue tax election. I think that's going to be, because this is also you find a tax election that when you have somebody from out of town that pays via hotel motel tax, that head tax is, so you're going to get money from tax entities that are paid for by people from out of town. That's an excellent way, obviously, to build one of these venues. So I don't think that you need to raise enough money to pay for it all with public money. I think it needs to be a public-private arrangement. But I would really like to see a private entity run it.
Okay. Quick break, and we'll be right back with more. And we're back with we have a couple of minutes here. 2 minutes, Eddie. And so I did want to read some of the text messages that we have gotten this morning. I've got to read that one over before I read it out loud. Some of these will get you in trouble. So we had an active shooter training at work yesterday, and they taught us add, avoid, deny, defend. Like Matt said, businesses are not smart for not allowing concealed carry. That's from one of our text messengers this morning. Does KFYO Town Square Media allow you to carry? Also, is open carry not concealed carry? No, open carry is not concealed carry.
I mean, a license to carry gives you permission to do both, but no, they're not the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Do we owe anything to Mike Leach? We were talking about Texas Tech. You were talking about the chancellor and all that the great things that they have done for Texas Tech University. Do we owe anything to Mike Leach?
Mike Leach did a great coach. He was one of the most brilliant coaches from sideline to sideline. He created a lot of off-field disturbances, but the thing of it was Mike Leach was a winner and had a winning program here at Tech. So, yes, we owe him for the wins that he made for the program, and the stature that he built during the time that he was here. So, of course, we owe Coach Leach that. It didn't necessarily end well in the best interest of the program, but not all of it was his fault, but some of it was.
And quickly, I'd ask you off mic if the National Chamber of Commerce supported Donald Trump's ideas and
they support him. Again, they're having a little bit of issues with his trade comments.
Issues with what now?
His trade, as far as they don't
trade
support.
Issues.
They don't support his concepts on trade.
Well, okay. We'll come back and with another segment because we still have some things to talk about.
Sure. Yes, sir. I'd be glad to.
All right. More after this. And we're back here at 8:07. A little final segment here with Eddie McBride, the super chief down at the Lubbock Chamber of Commerce. Talking about the headline this morning from Trump to Hannity, Kim Jong-un to start denuclearization virtually immediately.
Yeah.
So how do you see this? Is this good?
I think, for all the...
It's huge, is it not?
For all the media attention that's drawn to it, you can't overshadow the fact that this is a phenomenal opportunity for at least the thought that there could be denuclearization of the possibility. Now, I don't trust those guys, Kim Jong-un, as far as he can be thrown. But the fact of the matter is that these things don't happen in throwing rocks at each other. Yeah. It happens sitting across the table. And I think that President Trump deserves a heck of a lot of credit for getting that to happen.
Yeah, well, so you were talking about you had some other events coming up. One being, I'm sorry.
The Young Professional Summer Bash is going to be at the Garden on Thursday night at 5:30. So if you're a young professional and interested in meeting other young professionals and sharing both your professional, lives as well as your personal lives, come down to the Garden in the Depot Entertainment District Thursday night, and it's going to be a very nice venue. There'll be some singing, there'll be some games, there'll be some libations to share, but nonetheless, more than anything else, there's going to there'll be a few libations, I'm sure, but other things as well. But it's a good opportunity for building relationships and networking, the stuff that I think that the Chamber really does a good job in promoting. So I hope anybody that's a young professional that wants to come out and meet other young professionals, this is a great way for them to do that.
Well, Eddie, quite honestly, from my view, now from where I sit, the networking that you can receive by joining the Chamber is, to me, the number one thing, particularly for young professionals, who are just getting started in a career. It's all about networking. It's all about making friends and meeting people, is it not?
Absolutely. And throughout the course of time, that the number one reason for joining the Chamber still to this day, as you said, still is for the networking opportunities. Because if somebody wants to learn something else about someone else's job, or even have the opportunity to tell them about what their business does, these networking opportunities at the events that we hold, the chance for folks to meet other people is still one of the best things that you can get out of your Chamber membership. Advocacy has grown to the degree that obviously that's another, but advocacy in and of itself is networking. Advocacy is networking with our elected officials and letting them know what our positions are so that they can address those, and so that obviously we can look out for our businesses. So essentially everything that the Chamber does is allowing the opportunities for business to thrive in our community and for commerce to grow. Yeah. So that's the whole purpose of the Chamber of Commerce. So,
and I look back on my career, this is my 50th consecutive year in the Lubbock media.
50th. How did you start when you were 12?
Well, yeah, I was about 11.
Or no, yeah.
But
good for you, Dave. Congratulations.
Well, I can say, in looking back over my career, there was a lot of meetings I went to, and there was a lot of things I heard. Most of it was of little value, but occasionally you run across somebody and you hear something that is $1 million idea.
Sure, absolutely.
That is what you have to keep in mind.
Yeah.
A lot of it, you already know, you've already heard, but still, if you do it long enough, you meet enough people, you talk to enough people, you will run across $1 million idea, something that you hadn't thought of.
Well, there's a lot of people, it's just like 1 out of 1,000,000 that comes up with all those good ideas themselves, but the rest of us are generally looking to expand and create new ideas by talking to other people.
Exactly.
And so I think that's one of the things that we offer both in our communications, our messaging strategies, that when we send out information, it's just like this active shooter training. Not too many chambers across America have active shooter trainings. things. But we think it's important to our businesses. Why? Because our businesses have told us. So we listen to what our businesses here in the community tells us that they need. I mean, it's just like the many other things that we do on a annual basis, the programs, our program of work that we include. You know, we did the diversity summit that we talked to y'all earlier this year about. And the reason for that was to be able to have folks recognize the differences in our workplace and to understand those differences and to respect them and act on them a little better. So we do a lot of things. We have a prayer lunch. You know, there's not too many chambers across America that have a prayer lunch. And we had an outstanding one this year. And so we do some things that I think are not necessarily of the norm when it comes to that. But you always go back to that basic concept that you talked about, is we want the opportunity for business people to meet with other business people.
Okay. So we're running a little low on time, but you just had the Lubbock Uncorked. It was a success, I can tell you, because I was there myself. It was awesome. And but you have you have a barbecue thing.
I have barbecue coming up in October this year.
Okay,
and it's a little bit later than it normally is because obviously
is it usually in August.
It's usually in September. We always have to do it around an open football game weekend because I'm convinced after the cookers that I've talked to out there, they don't want to go cook on a Wednesday, Thursday, and turn around and tailgate on a Friday, Saturday. So we'll have to do that some year, I'm sure. But this year we're actually going to the fairgrounds, which makes it a much more, it's a compact deal. The gate opening, getting through the gate and everything else. Yeah, it's all in one area. I hated leaving downtown to be on the streets of downtown, but it got to be a little bit difficult to manage. So we're going to go out to the fairgrounds and have it in it, like you say, in an open area. The carnival grounds out there. So it's going to be a great opportunity to be able to cook, eat barbecue, drink beer, and listen to outstanding music.
And it's going to be probably on a Thursday night?
Thursday night again, yes. Thursday night. Open.
I like Thursday nights because I can always go on a Thursday night.
The problem with it, Eddie?
Nuh-uh.
I always, every time I go to the event, last time there was over 200
cooking
cooks.
teams, yeah.
And you go there and you say, okay, that's 200 ribs. That's 200 pieces of brisket. That's 200 pieces of sausage.
Dave, what gluttony you speak of. Isn't that a wonderful opportunity?
It is. But the problem is I say, okay, I've got to pace myself. Pace myself.
Yeah.
And by the third vendor, I am full. I can't eat anymore.
And the variety of stuff, you have just the variety of taste as well as the variety of items. And it's just a fun event. Obviously we intended to do things that I like the best is eat barbecue, drink beer, and listen to music. And visit with friends.
Absolutely. It don't get much better than that.
Not at all. And I think being at the fairgrounds is going to offer folks to easy get in, easy to get out.
You have an elevator speech that you want to give in the last minute here?
The mission of the Chamber is to strengthen, promote, and serve the business community, because if we do that, obviously we create chances for commerce to thrive in even a better environment in Lubbock, Texas. So we're also interested in the quality of life of bringing things to town to make you enjoy living in Lubbock. So lucky me, I live in Lubbock.
You were spot on. I'm telling you, I'm very serious when I say you can't do much better than our Chamber of Commerce. You guys have really done well, and you've done a great service to the Hub City. Just look around if you don't believe it.
Well, Dave, Matt, thank you all very much for the chance to be on there with you guys.
All right. Till next month. We'll be back after this.